all the work that I have done, this is a very strange business and a very strange endeavor of life. All the work that I have done in my life will be obsolete by the time I'm, 50. Apple II's obsolete now. Apple I's were obsolete many years ago. The Macintosh is on the verge of becoming obsolete in the next few years. This is a field where one does not write a Principia which holds up for 200 years. This is not a field where one paints a painting that will be looked at for centuries, or builds a church that will be admired and looked at in astonishment for centuries. No, this is a field where one does one's work, and in 10 years it's obsolete, and really will not be usable within 10 or 20 years. I mean, you can't go back and use an Apple I because there's no software for it. In another 10 years or so, you won't be able to use an Apple II. You won't even be able to fire it up and see what it was like. So it's sort of like sediment of rocks. I mean, you're building up a mountain, and you get to contribute your little layer of sedimentary rock to make the mountain that much higher. But no one on the surface will, unless they have X-ray vision, will see your sediment. They'll stand on it. It'll be appreciated by that rare geologist. But no, it's not like the Renaissance at all. It's very different. Very different.
A master that resonates with me is Steve Jobs. Now, I'm in the field of film, so Steve Jobs doesn't quite make much sense. So first let me explain background information about Steve Jobs, then I'll clarify why I chose Jobs as a master I resonate most with. Jobs was an adopted child, who had a connection with Wozniak at a young age, and with that connection they were able to create something truly magical. Creating the Apple I, then moving on to the Apple II, and the list of computers goes on. Now, Steve Jobs had a couple of hardships. Being removed from the Lisa project, and having Microsoft's Bill Gates use the operating system they were working on to create the platform for what we now know today as Windows. He was fired from the company he started by the board of directors, and he still continued to pursue his dream of making something for the people. Now, none of this has to do with filmmaking. What interests me most about Jobs is the perseverance. No matter how many times he was put down, he got back up. This resonates with me because he fought to be more than average. A very well-known name about 2,000 years ago is Cleopatra. No one really knows the guy who sold the fruit in Egypt, or anyone he knew. We only have around 100 years on this planet, and then we become a history mainly known to our next 2 to 3 generations of family, and then we're forgotten by the world. Unless you make an impact to this world, your life may have been a meaningful one, but no one will ever know that. And then, for what would your life have truly been for? To carry on more life? I strive to be more than just that. To make an impact on a world in some sort. To be recognized by many as one who helped better the world, not just extend the duration we live on it. Movies is about storytelling, and I want to tell a story that will be told for generations. Now, if there were 2 questions I could ask Jobs, the first one I would ask would be, what pushed you to continue fighting to have your own company even after being fired from the one you had started from the ground up? And my follow-up question would vary depending on his answer on the first, but would be something along the lines of, you strived for so long on making the success of Apple. You fought hard for that company. So why do you choose now to give up and let your cancer take its toll on you when you have the money for treating it? That is one thing that strikes me with curiosity, is why would a man fight so hard for the corporation, then suddenly just give up when it's at an all-time high? One of the 7 deadly realities from the Book of Mastery that related most to me was envy. A lot of times I can get quite envious of someone else's work, slowing me down on my own. Not getting some opportunities that I would be prepared for that others in my field may receive. It makes it difficult to see the light, being envious. The other is something I found in many today, and sadly enough I see in myself. Laziness. I tend to get unmotivated to do the tasks at hand and not seeing an ultimate goal. I don't look far enough in the future to see how these tasks I need to complete may help me. Instead, I barely look past my own shadow and get myself down before I can even get myself off the ground. I feel if I work on these 2 deadly realities, I can truly achieve greatness.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it!